The film Parasite is a great film to use your sociological imagination. I think what it says about wealth and inequality is huge, and that there's huge disparities between the upper and lower class. This is shown in the differences between the family homes of the poor people and the wealthy. The poor people live in like a dingy, dark basement apartment. They have pests, it smells, it's hot, they don't have Wi Fi, you know. And then the wealthy family home is gorgeous and light and airy and giant and luxurious and on a hill. And I think that that's like kind of like a physical example of how people see upper versus lower class people. And I think another thing that represents this, like the disparity between the two classes, is the use of rain in the film. So, for the wealthy people, rain is more of like a minor inconvenience. They don't get to finish their camping trip. They have to come home early. The river flooded, and so they had to come home. And it sucked, but it wasn't the end of the world. Versus when there's a heavy rain, the poor people, their apartment was flooded with like sewage, like, and that's like devastating in comparison. So that just kind of shows the inequality. Um, so I think what it says about social mobility is that without social and cultural capital, there's no social mobility. So there's no meritocracy, there's no like climbing the ladder equally. This is shown by the fact that Kiwoo and Ki Jung were able to land their jobs as tutor and art instructor because they were pretending to be in a higher social class. They lied, they created fake documents, and they would have never been able to acquire that job without those, or without their networking of like bringing their family members in. So, um, in Shrildrick's article, they explain that oftentimes people living in poverty don't like to associate themselves with their class because they're seen as undeserving. And so this is kind of shown when the old housekeeper is helping her husband in the basement after not seeing him for however long, and she's begging the new housekeeper to like help her out as like needy people, like you're needy too, help us, we need help. And the new housekeeper, she's just looking at them with like absolute disgust, and she like exclaims like, I'm not needy, even though they are like still impoverished family. They don't identify as that anymore because it's seen as like less than. um I thought what was really interesting is that also in Shrildrick's article, propaganda to say that poor people are less morally superior, right? This kind of shows within the film where it's like the wealthy family is seen as so morally superior of firing the old driver because he's a creep, or you know, paying their employees well, caring about their children's mental health. They're seen as morally upstanding citizens, whereas the poor people are not. They are seen as lying, evil, parasitic, when they're just trying to survive. So I think something that was